Welcome back to another episode of PokeFang Unpack, where we unpack the latest news, updates, leaks, and rumors in the Pokemon TCG collecting hobby. Today we have some really exciting news regarding the new set Stellar Crown that's coming out in September. Some new artwork has been revealed, and honestly, some of it already looks really incredible. This is part 2 in a series, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the additional parts as we unpack all of the information that we find out about this set ahead of its release. And it's actually coming out on September 13th, so quite a ways away, but it will be based off of the Japanese set Stellar Miracle, which will be coming out on July 19th, which is actually just around the corner. I don't know if it's actually called Stella Miracle or Stellar Miracle, but when it translates, it says Stella, which I love because that is the name of my dog. We have less information about that set confirmed than we do Stellar Crown, which is honestly quite interesting. Stellar Crown, we do know that we're getting over 142 cards. We're getting 10 double rares and 4 Terra EX cards, 3 A-Spec cards, 13 illustration rares, 10 ultra rares. Actually, that's supposed to be ultra rare Pokemon according to the website, so that does not include the full art trainers or anything like that. We're getting 6 special illustration rares. Those are our alternate art style cards. Those are our big chase cards. 6 of them in this upcoming set, and 3 hyper rare gold cards that we have not seen yet. I want to get started right off the bat with these new special illustration rares. This Hydrapple EX is absolutely incredible. I love this artwork by T-Zero, and it has this like ancient Mew style design going on. It's like hieroglyphics, cave drawings kind of thing, depicting the new Hydrapple in its form where all of the different snakeheads are coming out. I think they're actually called Syrupants, based off of the syrup that is actually used to evolve it and is coating the apple core that it actually comes out of. Honestly, I can't wait to see this thing in hand with all of its textured glory when the light hits it. It's going to look absolutely incredible, I can already tell. And something else that makes this card really awesome is the fact that we now have a full evolution line from the Applin, Diplin, all the way up to the Hydrapple EX in art rares or illustration rares. I always love when you get the full evolution line in an alternate art sort of form. And continuing with the absolute banger artwork here, we have our next card, which is going to be the Terrapagos EX Stellar Type Terraform. Wow, that's a tough one to say. Special illustration rare. So this is an absolutely beautiful card, just looking at it right off the bat. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Terrapagos as a Pokemon when it was first announced, but having played through the Indigo Disc expansion and having seen how this new Stellar type is being implemented in the TCG, I am pretty excited about it. You may not even notice right away, but the edges of this card and the foil pattern that is going on in the background here actually has like a stellar, almost rainbow type pattern to it, as opposed to just a silver textured holographic edge. So we're going to be seeing that same rainbow pattern texture background. I guess I could call it stellar pattern with all of the new stellar type Pokemon in the set. So this is going to be a completely different card design style. It almost feels like this is kind of a callback to those rainbow cards that we got, but now we're getting a combination hybrid of a rainbow card and a alternate art, which is pretty epic. And honestly, this artwork, beautiful. It looks like some sort of like subway tile mural. I don't know quite what to call this artwork, but it looks absolutely stunning. And to see it in hand, I'm sure is going to be a whole nother experience. I have a feeling that even though there's been a lot of naysayers in the Scarlet and Violet era, and especially around the games themselves and the DLC itself, a lot of people haven't played the game, haven't played the DLC. I think even those people will see this card and know that something really incredible is happening, because it just looks absolutely stunning. I can't wait to see it in person. And obviously we're going to be chasing this thing real hard when Stellar Crown actually drops on September 13th. Here on the channel, we'll be opening lots and lots of packs of that set to try and pull these chase cards. So as of right now, those are the only 2 special illustration rares out of the 6 that we expect to see in Stellar Crown that have actually been announced. Obviously those cards are going to be alternate arts of cards that are in the set, but we haven't actually seen every single EX that there is to offer in Stellar Miracle yet. I'm expecting to see 1 to 2 more special illustration rare Pokemon get added to this list here, and then possibly 1 or 2 special illustration rare trainers, which should be pretty awesome based on the trainers that are in the main set. We'll get to those in just a few minutes, but overall already shaping up to be a really incredible set with some nice chase cards. But we also have the regular illustration rares, or the art rares in Japanese, as we're looking at Stellar Miracle. So we have the Ledian art rare right here. I think this is actually the first time that we're seeing Ledian as a full art card in the TCG, so round of applause for Ledian. And we have this really simple and beautiful Crabominable artwork by Mitsuhiro Arita that honestly, like, it's a very simple artwork, but it's really cool, especially if you're a fan of Crabominable. It's probably one of my favorite Pokemon names to say. But it seems to be traversing sort of a frozen tundra in the middle of a blizzard or a whiteout. But yeah, another great looking artwork to add to the set. And then we have this Joltik, which I honestly love. I love the colors of this thing. It really pops. It's got depth. It's got like, it's sort of surreal in whatever it is it's trying to convey. Like, it's not a realistic setting or anything like that. It really looks great. And I think Joltik, honestly, is one of the cutest Pokemon. Feel free to roast me for that. I don't even like to imagine that it's a tick, technically, because ticks are disgusting. But Joltik is absolutely adorable. I love this Pokemon. And somebody over there at Pokemon must also really like Joltik, because this is not the first time that we're seeing Joltik as an illustration rare. We also recently got Joltik as an illustration rare in Raging Surf, the Japanese set, one of the 3 Japanese sets actually that made up Paradox Rift. So we ended up getting it in English in Paradox Rift as well. And it was one of my all-time favorite illustration rares that we got in Scarlet and Violet so far, because I mean, just look at it. It's adorable. I love that card. I love that we're getting another Joltik. I'm pretty stoked. And then this one just dropped right before I started recording this video, so I was able to add it in. This is the Zeraora illustration rare. It looks incredible. There's some like crazy, hectic, almost into the Spider-Verse sort of style artwork here. There's some like half toning in the shading here that makes it look like it's sort of old school print, like a comic book or something. But then it's got these hyper saturated colors. Really cool sort of kinetic energy as it's flying through the air here. Honestly, like, Zeraora is one of my favorite design Pokemon when it comes to the bipedal designs. There's something about it. Every time I see a Zeraora card, I think it's so cool looking, especially the one that I think was in, I believe it was Chilling Reign, that had the alternate arts in it. I think it was Chilling Reign, but that was an incredible artwork as well. So every time I see this Pokemon in an artwork, I get super pumped. Then we have this Noctowl artwork here with this really unique sort of like stippling, I don't know what to call that, stippling brush effect or pen effect or something. I've definitely seen that artwork style before, but looks pretty awesome. It's sitting like in a hole in a tree, looking at, I guess, looks to be like some like junk and trinkets, little shiny things and things like that it was, I assumed, to be collecting. I do think it's really funny that the eyes on this Noctowl kind of look like the eyes emoji, like whenever something sus is going on, and you have that one emoji where they're kind of looking off to the side. I don't know why, it just kind of reminds me of that. But we're also, this is going to be printed as a regular illustration rare in Stellar Miracle, the Japanese set. But as far as the English release, we will not be seeing this in the main set, I don't think. We usually don't when it's pulled for a promo. And this card was pulled for a promo, as you saw in part 1 of Unpacked for Stellar Crown, because this is actually going to be the card that we get as the Elite Trainer Box promo. So every time you open an Elite Trainer Box, there's going to be a sealed version of this Noctowl artwork in there. And if you open the Pokemon Center exclusive version, you'll get the one with that special badge on it. And I highly recommend going for that one, having at least one of those in your collection, because they tend to hold value pretty well, as I've covered in the past. So now that we've seen 5 art rares for Stellar Miracle, we can start to build out a little bit of our set list here for Stellar Crown. We are expecting to see 13 illustration rares, as mentioned in the beginning of the video. And as of right now, we have these 4, which we can officially add to the list here. And I am going to be numbering these based off of their Japanese set numbering while we piece this together, essentially so that we know how many cards we have to fill in these gaps here. And then that sort of lets us know essentially what typings that they might be as well. Because just like the ultra rares and special illustration rares and the regular cards in the set, these are done in typing order. So we have between grass and water, we can only have fire. So we are expecting to see either some grass, fire, and water types fill in these spots right here. So just so you know, that's why these are numbered this way. This is number 103 in the set, which makes it the first special illustration rare, because the highest number in the regular set, the last trainer card in the main set, is 102. So we are starting off with 103 right here with the Ledian. We know that there's no card before that. So that's number 103, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 107, 108, and 109 are going to be the Crabominable, the Joltik, and the Zeraora. And then we have our Noctowl down here, which is number 114 in this set. However, we are not going to be getting this in the Stellar Crown set because it is pulled for a promo. That's why there's 14 cards on this screen instead of the 13 special illustration rares that we are expecting, because this one is getting pulled. And as we get more of these announced or leaked, we will be adding them to the list here until we have a full set of all 13 special illustration rares that will appear in Stellar Crown. And we are also expecting to get 10 double rares and 4 Terra type double rares. I think they're all going to be stellar types as well. And those are right here. So we have Lapras EX, that is the stellar Terra type right there with that crystallization sort of form there where they're bursting out of the edges. Also with that really interesting new sort of rainbow background hollow foil pattern on the cards themselves. These ones are the ones that are going to be textured. The Terra types are always the double rares that get this nice etching or texture on them. So these are going to be some really nice cards to pull. We also have some leaked information. We have already seen the Cinderace EX in English, which means they're already printing these cards, which is cool to know that they're just printing these things so far in advance. It is a bummer though that sometimes this stuff does get leaked, which is kind of why I have it dim here. I didn't want to spoil too much, but we do know for a fact that we are going to be getting a Cinderace EX in this set. And then we've seen official releases for the Galvantula and the Terrapagos EX of the double rares. So as mentioned earlier in the video, there's going to be 10 different double rares in this set and 4 Stellar Terraform EX cards. And speaking of double rares, we have the Hydrapple EX, the Orthworm EX, and the Doxbun EX. These are the only 3 that we have actually seen get confirmed with the actual SV7 set number down at the bottom. There's been a lot of speculation that there's going to be cards featured in this set that are actually coming from the Battle Academy. And those cards have not actually shown with the SV7 badge. They've only shown the SV1 badge because that's what the set number is for the Battle Academy for Scarlet and Violet. So these are the only 3 that we officially know are confirmed to be in here besides these 4 right here. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 cards are missing of the regular double rare EXs. And of all of the double rare EXs that are in the Battle Academy, we have Sprigatito, Armarouge, Greninja, Pikachu, Houndstone, Lucario, Darkrai, and Melmetal. And like I said, we can only get 3 of these as far as I can tell based on what was actually announced. We did get a really Greninja heavy set really recently with the Twilight Masquerade set, having the Greninja Special Illustration Rare, a Greninja Full Art, and a Greninja EX. And as we get around to part 3 of this series, we'll have a little bit more information. We'll most likely see either the remaining 3 or a few of them will start to get trickled into our set. And I'm honestly, you know me, I'm rooting for the Ghost and Dark types. So I'm hoping we get the Houndstone, and I'm hoping that we get the Darkrai, because that could mean that we are going to get full arts or even possibly special illustration rares of those Pokemon. All of the double rare Pokemon EX that we are getting in this set should also be getting full arts, so we know we're getting 10 double rares. I would say 99% of the time we get the ultra rares from the EX Pokemon that are in the set. So we're going to get a Hydrapple, Cinderace, Lapras, Galvantula, Doxbun, Orthworm, and Terrapagos full arts in this set, or ultra rares as we now call them. And again, we still don't know what these other 3 are. And as soon as we know what the irregular EXs are, we should be able to fill these in with whatever Pokemon those are. And like I said, rooting for Darkrai and Houndstone. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments which of these cards you would love to see in this upcoming set, or which ones you think are going to be in this set. As far as the A-Spec cards, we're actually closing in on getting all 3 of them. So far, there has been 2 A-Spec cards revealed from Stellar Miracle, and that's going to be the Great Tree and the Sparkling Crystal. These A-Spec cards are highly playable in the TCG for the most part. Some of them get more love than others, but a lot of the time they do pretty well in terms of holding their value. I'm very interested to see what the 3rd A-Spec card is going to be for Stellar Miracle. And there's no confirmed number for Stellar Crown in terms of how many full art or ultra rare supporters that we're going to be getting in this set, which is kind of unfortunate. It ends up making things a little bit difficult, and we actually haven't seen any of them get announced through Stellar Miracle either. So as soon as we start to see these come in and we start to see the card numbers on them as well, it'll start to build a better, clearer picture in terms of how many cards to expect of the different rarities. So, but as of right now, I have 5 different cards here just to represent the ultra rare supporters that we're going to be getting from Stellar Miracle. We don't know what they're going to be yet, but as I mentioned at the end of the Shrouded Fable series, we are moving into the Indigo Disc, so we are expecting to see characters from the Indigo Disc DLC like Serrano, Briar, Lacey, Crispin, Drayton, Amaris, and Kieran, which means we'll most likely be getting ultra rare supporters from these different characters, as well as possibly special illustration rares, which is pretty exciting. Something I did last time, for those of you who did not play the DLC or don't even play the games, don't know who these characters are that are coming into the TCG, I put together these quick little bio cards because when I first got back into the TCG, I didn't know who a lot of these characters were. I was a little bit behind on the games. So I just want to put these together so that you guys have some context. Feel free to pause it if you want to read the card information at the top. I'm just going to go through the bios on these. So Briar is a descendant of Heath, the author of the Scarlet book / Violet book that tells stories essentially of this Pokemon Terapagos with this stellar typing. Essentially, her ancestor Heath was discredited for writing this book, and Briar is seeking out Terapagos to prove that his theories were correct. And then we have Crispin, who was also introduced in Generation 9. Crispin is a fire-type trainer and a member of the Blueberry League Elite Four. He actually uses a terrestrialized Blaziken in battle, so it would be really sick to be able to see another Blaziken special illustration rare. Probably not in this set, but maybe later on in the TCG somewhere. Would be really, really cool. I also feel like this character could probably be related to Chili, Sillin, and Cress. Then we have Lacey here, who really likes cute fairy type Pokemon and is a member of the Blueberry League Elite Four as well. Her father is the gym leader Clay, if you guys remember from Driftvale City in Pokemon Black and White, and they actually both use an Excadrill as their Pokemon. I do think / hope that we're going to be getting an ultra rare full art of Lacey as a supporter card, as well as maybe even a special illustration rare. I personally think it would be a huge missed opportunity if they didn't do that. But again, time will tell. We do have some available slots for those special illustration rares. And then we have a Kofu trainer card in this set as well. And if you played the game, maybe you feel the same way, but I feel like Kofu gave me some anxiety. I think his energy was just way too high, and he's kind of like this overbearing character, but he's a gym leader in the town of Cascarafa who specializes in water-type Pokemon. He's a chef at Kofu Lounge, obviously probably also owns it, and awards you with the water badge on defeat. His Pokemon of choice is Veluza. And then we have 3 hyper rare gold cards in this set as well. And unfortunately, none of them have been revealed, which is why there's no artworks on this slide. And it's kind of a bummer that there's nothing to talk about in terms of hyper rares, but probably in the next week or so, maybe 2 weeks, we should start to see a lot more of these cards fill out their spaces, and we'll know exactly what to look for. So the forecast now looks like this. We are moving out of the Teal Mask DLC content with Shrouded Fable, which will be coming out very soon. And probably in the next few months, we should also start getting information on the upcoming set Paradise Dragona. We don't know too much about it other than just the name. Same thing with Super Electric Breaker. Again, these are just based off of Japanese trademarks that have been submitted, followed by Terrestrial Festival and Glory of Team Rocket. I'm assuming Paradise Dragona and Super Electric Breaker will happen in 2024. Terrestrial Festival and Glory of Team Rocket might happen at the very end of the year, possibly early 2025. I spent several hours putting these slides together, so please smash that like button to let me know that all of my hard work was worth it. Hit subscribe with notifications on if you don't want to miss part 3, which should be coming out in the next week or so with all the new revelations and updates regarding Stellar Crown and upcoming Pokemon TCG expansions. See you in the next one, and as always, happy haunting, Fang Gang. Peace.